So screaming at me that they can't see anything. We shall get started. Yeah, okay, we'll get started now. If you can all see this, I hope. Hello, welcome to Orc Black Speech. Good to see those thumbs up. So there's basically what I want to share with you guys. For a dictionary under esd.pdf. That's basically, that's how many words we have to play with. So I think we got to drop someone. I'll just check in. I think. Oh, I'll be in again. You need to know this. You don't need to know back to front. All of the materials I've shared, you don't need to know. That's just feel free to go ahead. Yeah. So at the moment, all outside of the very complicated actually learning a constructed language stuff, there's oral. So spoken black speech. And this is subdivided into...
Just generally mute yourself unless you have a question.
And, well, black speech system came up with several, gosh, what is it, done 7 years ago? It was a while back.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Anyway, it's not necessary. We have it and it's available, so we'll use it. So focusing on the oral, probably the most important thing for LARP, but what I want to do first is go through, and what we'll do is combine English and black speech written stuff that will be useful in, for example, communicating secretly at a LARP event, in person, and role play. So we're actually going to start. I'm going to change colors because I can. Written English, because it's the best way to learn. No, we are going to start lesson 1. This is a simple phrase. I might just grab that layer. With red. Wait, is anyone colorblind? Do I need to? Probably. This is a consideration. This does colorblindness. So this is the phrase azat it's a single expression. It's not actually a sentence, but it does mean kill them all. It's written down as a word broken into a verb. Complicated down. So the word az, is kill. And get rid of all this. Oops. Excuse me for the white screen.
Quinny, can you hear me?
So,
Quinn, can you hear me?
yes, I can hear you.
Cool. It may be worth noting that your screen is shared to quite small, and there's obviously I can see that there's more stuff on your screen that you weren't showing. Just so you know.
Oh, it's a thing?
But back on the last page, yeah. It just seems that it's zoomed in a bit, that's all.
Oh, let me full screen. I think that's all right. Let me just do full screen, because I think that's going to be... See the chat room we're in? Okay. Can everyone see my screen with my little mouse?
Yep. Yes.
Okay. I might back it up a sec just for the sake of it. I'm going to work on this phrase, and I'll just start it on the front page. So, but not just yet. We'll get to that because that's a... We all need a glass of water to kill us. The action implication to kill is a suffix at. So in order to say to kill, and kind of specific, but this is not something we need to worry about now. Change this to... There's a pronoun process in here as well that we're not going to get in. So, whoops. Okay, come back here. Right. Art. Full. Layers here. So, back here. Yeah. All right. So, this single phrase, it's actually also a phrase. And unfortunately, black speech works like this, so it will get, especially I think for English speakers. I don't know why that keeps jumping over there. As, but, to kill. Comes from the pronoun blue. And then means what we end up with is kill them all. I'm struggling so far because I know that's a lot to process.
2 questions. So I understand that as and ut is sort of like the tensing the verb in a way. Why in
To do with pronouns?
Yeah. So couldn't you just say azul, like kill them, as an example?
So
Using the examples that you've given. So instead of saying azat, which is to kill, you could say azul, which is like kill them.
So if you omit later on down the track, and words like this run together, because you'll lose sight of these words. Like ours is actually really good because it shows you how small this can be. Like, and there are some that are single letters. And part of how the verb is constructed can help show that it's a verb. But I get what you're saying. The reason it's there is so that when you come across other verbs with, it's uniform. Now, that said, this is not the example you will find it. So what you'll find in the the grammar section is Zubuluk, which is they with them all. The two becomes will. And so this is also your tense. So this is present tense. So that's the tense to kill. So yeah, but we're also using an impersonal pronoun in front of it here. It gets complicated. But it's really just showing this as at is the tense. So it's present tense. Call that kind of neutral. So sorry to... Does that answer your question? Like, it doesn't always work in every language, but yeah, does that help, Don?
Yes, it does. Yep.
Okay. All right. So it's just about the tenses and stuff, and I think we've had some. Sorry, just checking on the chat. Cool. All right. All right. So back down here. So this is before. To go kill them all or kill them all is a single sentence. In English, it's sorry, the other way around. In English, this is an entire sentence. And it has all these modifiers at the end of it, these suffixes that just adds and gives you the rest of the context. So you've got tense here, at, ul, the pronoun them, and uk is all. So it just gets mashed together. And the u and on both ends here just get merged together into one. And that's what this little symbol up here is. It gives you this double oo sound. So like look, so you end up with them all. So Hawkish is a weird constructed language. So in English we have subject, verb, object. I sit on the chair. Speech, our adjectives go after the word that modifies it. So it's the field black. So keep that in mind. So we're going to do a couple of quick important words over here. And if you want a statement here, azatuluk, just because it's a good battle cry. So, can everyone see that I've shifted over? Just chime in if you're dipped out there. Okay.
All good.
So, we've got yes, no. So the simplest things we could, simplest knowledge to have these. So we have ach, and the KH sound is pronounced like loch in Scottish sound. No is na, but na is also so just no. On its own, it is. It can also be not. A word, and it becomes un, as in available, and things like that. Use the word anti. Oops. So na gets around. So,
The slut.
for example, sorry, say that again.
It gets around. The slut. It's like one of the few words
Didn't
I remember that you
catch.
can chuck in.
Okay. Yeah, it does. So na is useful. There is no affirmative version of ach, which operates like na. So if you've got na at the start of a sentence, like no money, which I think is na draug. Just means no noun. Well, it's a noun and then just negative. But the negative would start at the sentence. Sorry. I'm getting too complicated. Nah, important and useful. Ach, important and useful. So the verbs stop and ugh. This will be difficult because a lot of stuff is when we get to the pronunciation lessons. But these are both verbs. So in the present tense, it's puzgat and uchat. And I've also got examples of this written down in our language. If you haven't seen the picture of it, you can just grab it from the chat. Please don't. You can use it if you want to decorate something. If you need help with that, please let me know. I can write it out as to be, and that's no trouble at all. So we've got it reads down. And I used to do this language right to left, but I think it's simpler to go investigation with Mongolian, which this is not based on. And I saw I've been using that the whole time. Yeah. It's just easier.
Yeah, like manga.
So the following. Sorry, what was that? I heard someone else talking.
Oh, that's me. Hi. Sorry I'm late.
Oh, hey, Truff, if you can. That's all right. Just mute yourself there, or set yourself to push this, because otherwise we'll get a lot of background noise. So. Mawkish. Like, if I say, I will go fight, usually dropped. It's usually just fight someone. The I is implied. They tend to be not used. They do exist. They're just because orcs are lazy. They do a gender neutral pronoun, which is im. To pronounce it this way. Separate from when you imply a group of the other they for a group of people is ulu.
So that's like
Singular
royal we or group we and singular we. They. Sorry.
as what you identify, for a singular identification, and there is a plural version of this
We and die.
as well, separate from yourself. That's ulu. Anyway, let's have a look at a full. This is another expression I came up with. I actually wrote it down on by the riverside, if you remember. For those of you who were there that time.
Good times. Memories.
At one time it got out and froze to death. Yeah.
What happens at Riverside stays at Riverside.
This is Tukurulu Krungara. And I'm sure disco, but I'll go through it slowly. Who is actually Kurulu. So this is rip. This implies that we will do it.
Is the internet really slow on my side?
So the tense.
No.
No, mine's just shit.
Okay. Okay, good. Because it's kind of hard to follow stopping like every second.
Suggestion: you could decrease your gate sound so your voice can
come through.
Yeah, right now your gate is pretty high.
Aaron, I think Discord sounded like brrr.
Yeah, Quinny, you are cutting out consistently. As I sort of said, we're going to try and figure out something to do for next time as well.
No, but we can try it.
Yeah.
Yeah. If we have some other screen share here, Darren, at all? You want to sort of repeat the question, Darren?
No, I'm just saying that to try to make itself not cut out, you can increase the input volume for your microphone, so the gate won't.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me just have a quick look. Voice. That's.
It just looked like your input sensitivity is all the way up, and that's why it keeps on not picking up your voice.
But it's not only the voice for me. It's also like stopping.
Yeah, so slide that down, like towards, like to the left. If you slide it up, if you slide it right,
better.
That means that it will detect your voice earlier than if you slide it all the way up.
Okay, I thought this was the thing, but this is the thing. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, first
Yes.
one. So we're all.
Is that clearer? Can anyone?
You're already sounding a lot better, and you're not cutting out every second or third word.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So that's already a big. Like I said,
That's because Discord. Yeah.
First lesson. So let's all be fair. There's going to be teething issues.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to go over everything again because, like, I'm sure there's going to be a couple of stragglers who come up at about 7 o'clock. So I'll do a quick recap.
Okay. Thanks.
So this is back, and this is from, but it's not a particle version of from, which I didn't know about when I came up with that. But, you know, sorry, I just got Discord message.
Did you put arrows
I didn't
like
notice
where things
that,
are?
Lexi. Oh, okay. So let's have a look.
Did you put the arrows in, like, for the most part, so that we can... Perfect.
So, where were we? All right. So, so because of the subject verb object order, this spaghetti sort of stuff in terms of where the sentence starts and where it ends, very valid to switch these around, and it would still be the same thing. I'd also like to note that there is absolutely in Orcish at all. It doesn't exist.
So can you repeat
Which
that?
is kind of, there is absolutely no the in Orcish. It does
Right, yeah, no.
Is there
not
like
exist.
you know, similar to Spanish, like an L, la, or
Not even.
or does it go
Um,
similar to a thing
As I was saying, let him answer the questions, not you.
Like in Danish,
Let him
So
answer the questions.
the has two versions, and it sort of goes depending on. Yeah. How does it work?
so it doesn't exist. What it does have, it doesn't even have like an L or a suffix or a prefix like that.
Okay.
It's not a function of the language. But there is this word. Let's move down a bit. Cool.
Cool.
And late.
Cool.
Yeah. It means to be. So it also functions as is, am, and is. And technically, it also works is. So yeah, it's technically a verb in the past and present tense. So kurat. It's most commonly used this way. I mean, where's my top layer? Up here. So, in the way of my thing, there we go. All right, so cool. Is to, or being. That's the only way it works in English. But this is the suffix version of the pronoun I. So this is I am. And I hyphenate things because I find it easier to delineate when I'm writing. And as we were talking about before with na, kul is I am. You can run the whole thing together and it makes perfect sense. And that is and this happens a lot in Orcish. So you end up with a lot of running that end up like this. And as we saw with Azatuluk, it's a single express. So just for Sarah, who hasn't been here, I'll just go back up here. Particular, Azatuluk is a single expression, but in English, over here. But this is a running word. You can get the recording later, and I'll go over it again when some more people join. But that's the you end up with compressed words. All right, let's go back to.
Is there a purpose to the accent? Of the
To I go back. So the accent here is so if you look down here,
Wait.
it just extends it out.
And I can't stare at the screen for too much longer.
Oh, okay. So it's ooh.
So down here.
Ooh.
So what happens is with the lu, which is them, and uk, which is all, and because they get compressed together and they've both got u on the end in the beginning, and that's why they put that in there. Thank you, Tolkien.
Ah. Similar to the
I'm just gonna,
what's it called that you know, in German when they put together the two S's and they create that letter.
Yeah. Usually for vowels. Wait, vowels or consonants? I forget which.
It's vowels if it's a U.
Yeah. Orcish only does this to vowels.
Okay.
And it's usually the U sound.
Okay, and that's the only like accent there is, and it's just an extended version of the vowel.
You're getting a bit into
Yep.
it.
So you missed
Sorry.
out earlier noun. Sorry, Erica, go again.
No, you might be delving a bit too much into the languagey bit without even prefacing for like pronunciation in the first place of some stuff. And just the structure, like go backwards towards the syntax, which is
Pronunciation is so pronunciation is going to be, and I think that's going to be lesson 2 because you need to prepare your voice for this.
Okay.
Is usually only on a U and an I, and this you missed out a bit earlier, but
Sorry.
that's for down here, and that's im.
Yeah.
Annoying because it can be suffixed and it can stand on its own in a sentence. So anyway, I'm not going to get too deep into that. Now I'm going to open it up for questions and things because we've gone over a lot and this is a lot of random stuff. And then, so I get that. So, I'm going to pause here and have questions. Sorry.
How do you exactly structure the sentence?
Go, Cesar.
Sorry, I'm sorry if this is already explained. From what I can see, like, how do you actually structure the sentence, and how do you know it's not a sentence and just a phrase, or like a phenomenon? Kind of like the single expression idea.
Yeah. So Azatu look is kill them all. But if we go back down to where we were talking about rip the flesh, so you will have to just listen for it.
You can just mash it too. You really can just shove it all together because it'll how you say it anyway.
So if you say it like a verb, you kind of.
So the subject object applies in Black speech as well. So just like it doesn't. There are a lot of asterisks in here, though. Like, but the most Black speech is the adjective always goes after the word it modifies. So that's more and scoot. It was black.
More.
Mm-hmm. So it would become Scootmore. It might be Scoothog, but I'm not going to fuck about with it.
Black shield.
Yeah.
Scootmore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So the adjective goes after the noun it's describing.
Ah, shield. Okay. Yeah. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
You do it like Yoda.
Yeah.
Is that someone else joining?
Yeah, basically, when you look at the sentence structure, how it is, it's like Yoda. The way you say shit is just so weird. So, like, if you think like Yoda, you do it right.
Yeah.
And it's problematic in my mind. Like, I can't add that to my... Anyway. Ugh.
I don't know what
shit itself
happened to this. I guess that got murdered. Oops, that's that page. We don't need that right now.
Yay!
Oh, don't need that. All right. So, oh God, where is everything?
God can't see me now.
Did I skip over? Nope. Okay. Now what was this one? Okay. Cool. So I think we lost Liam. Yeah, we did lose Liam. Oh well. Hopefully we'll catch him in the so I think we'll take a quick 5-minute break.
Liam who?
Grab a drink. Liam, one of our little orcs fellas. He's from he's moved to Bendigo.
Okay.
But he came to one of the events. I can't remember if you were there or not.
Probably not.
Yeah, take 5, everyone, and we'll be back at 7 o'clock for more.
How late do you think it'll be going?
I'm not going to go past 8, like, at all.
Okay, cool. Cool.
Everyone, take a quick break. We'll have a drink, and yeah, we'll go on from there. Don, if you want to pause the recording on that, and I'll chime you in. Okay, I'm just going to unshare my screen for a second. How do I do this? Okay. And I'll be back in 5. I should say, feel free to talk amongst yourselves while I'm gone.
I want to talk to these jacks. Sorry.
Hi.
Especially you.
What, me? You don't want to...
No, I don't want to talk to you.
Well, you're going to talk to me tomorrow anyway, so... What time are you going to be here?
Doing archery first thing, so sometime. What time do you want me there?
I mean, as early as you want, really. Because I am doing D&D at 7 p.m. I think.
7 p.m.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so you want me there during the day and head home?
Yeah.
For dinner?
Unless you want to stay for that, and then, like, I don't know.
Maybe.
Entertain yourself.
How long's your D&D normally?
3 hours, I think.
Maybe. I'll see. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
2 to 12. 12? 3 hours? That makes sense. Usually. They are. Or 4. I think it's 4.
Sweetie.
It's 4.
Sweetie pie. Oh, 4? Probably.
It's fancy.
It's an enemy, but
Yeah.
they can use
You
this
can
in
talk to Sarah about
So
Also, this guy's
once
stuck
you've
in
built
would you like to watch her on Sunday instead?
No,
Let me
I
get
can
this
still get
here
into
in
that.
this now. Yeah?
I gotta make more then. Yeah. Cricket noise. Okay.
I think they're having a quick break. They're having a quick
But-
break. Hey, Lexi. Oh, sorry, Trinket. And Lexi.
Yes?
It is worth noting that this is recording, so you might want to mute yourself. I can cut it all out. I'll cut it all out as much as I can, but it's just worth mentioning.
Yeah, cool.
You all hear about dick or whatever.
It was just logistics, man.
So where are you posting it? Should we start mentioning things that'll get you like censored? No advertisements can be played.
Oh, I don't. It's going on our private YouTube. It will be going onto our private YouTube channel, so no one will be able to see it without a specific link. So I don't care about that sort of stuff. I just thought I'd mention it. Because regardless, I'll hear it because I'm the one editing the videos.
You can hear all the dumb shit.
So,
Cool. So maybe cut out the breaks in the video, but anything else is fair game.
pretty much, yeah. Pretty much.
Cool. Hi, yeah, okay.
That wasn't meant as any form of criticism or anything like that. It was just a heads up because you probably missed it at the start when I mentioned that, hey, we're going to record this. That's all.
But,
I've forgotten, so
Yeah.
Cool. So, what is Black speech sort of compressed of? Like, what kind of languages does it lean up against?
Can I answer that one, Quinny?
Do you know what kind of languages Black
yeah, if you want. I mean,
Yeah, no. It's actually largely based on the Tolkien's work on Elvish. Now, I do believe that Elvish was largely based on. I can't remember what real life language he based it on, but a lot of the Black speech stuff is basically lazy Elvish.
It's got a few different bases.
And he
But the long and the short, like, Orcish is basically lazy language. And Tolkien hated it really passionately, which is why that's why it's not as, as an example, it's not a refined language. All the sort of stuff that's in it
it's not as expanded.
is based on, like, 2 sentences, which is all he ever wrote in Black speech, which is the engraving on the ring, which is formal Black speech, and then 1 line in the books where it's 2 orcs talking to each other. And so from that, they've had to extrapolate the language.
Oh, Finnish and Welsh.
I mean, like I said, he drew a lot of stuff from real world languages, but yeah.
Well, according to Google, it's Finnish and Elvish and Welsh.
Well, it depends on which version of Black speech you're learning, because there's about 10 different
And Latin.
There's about 10 different versions of Black speech.
But this is like the Elvish language.
Oh, right.
It's based largely on Finnish and Welsh.
And with the
You're muted, dear.
Yeah, I know.
One thing I was going to say, just before Erica mentions that, is that because there's like several different versions of Black speech that are quite well spread. Like there's one that's based on, I believe it's Swiss because it was done by a Swiss group, Swedish. My apologies. And that's based on their language. And then I do believe that the Czechoslovakian orcs have got their
which we have access to.
I mean,
the
I would
Czechs
have
and orcs have their own
I would have
versions as well.
so much easier if I could just get the Swedish one. Completely get that.
I think it's called. I think their actual dialect is called something like Svartski or something like that. They've actually got a whole specific name for their particular dialect of black speech, which obviously we won't be covering because it's not the version that we use, because we're using the one of the more prevalent English ones as a base. But I think the most important thing is none of it's hard and fast. Like, none of the rules...
Actually, it's kind of Svartiska.
That is good.
So, like, none of Orcish is hard and fast. You can play loose with it because it's lazy and Orcish.
I need to.
Oh, it's made in the 90s, of course.
I need to let you know. Yeah, this one was, and the other ones the later, and they're both adapted slightly differently. This will be the old 90s one, just because it's the one I'm the most used to. Some of the other ones I kind of find a bit weird, but the grammar at least is remaining languages. I do need to let you know that of all the languages, most of them are dead. The webcam and stuff like that. Like, I was lucky to find an archive that's been maintained. So I was like, yes, I found the grammar again, because teaching the grammar is. I can do it that way if everyone wants me to do it that way, which is what I posted in the at the top, the grammar and the dictionary that we have. But it's up to you guys if you want me to go through that step. I think it's handy to have like just some expressions that we can throw around like by the campfire. I'm going to move on back to it. So I'm going to start sharing my screen again. I'm going to assume. Now, Mr. Recording?
Yes. Yeah, still recording. Still recording.
Go. Cool. All right. So, go over there, Discord. Alrighty. So here's a vague expression to say, but you work with what you got. So, for, and the best thing I could come up with is die with courage, or so hang on, where's my, why can't I tap thing? I would like to use the brush, please. Oh, that's why. I'm on. Sorry. Technical difficulties. This is going to be slightly hilarious because this is pronounced whore.
Whore.
It's just how it's pronounced. It means brave, courage, and that's also literally heart, not metaphorically.
I mean, I snicker every time you say pick. Oh.
It means brave, courage, and a literal heart?
Yep.
Ah.
Literally.
Yeah, context can be a bitch in Orcish. Context cannot be taken lightly.
Yeah. Die
Kind of
with
the same in
heart.
Danish, like, isn't it the same, like, to have heart?
Can be.
You can literally have
In English, it's not literal, it's an expression. Yeah. This doesn't make that distinction, but in Black pumps blood around is also this. So, yeah.
well, does it? I'm guessing it depends on context.
If you want to eat their heart, if you want to eat their heart for their rich, juicy courage, that's anyway. So matat is to die, and it runs with the erzi, which also means by. So, for example, over here. So grish erzi by blood also means it's grammatically complicated. Okay, it's just it is so as a full expression is matatisri, as just that word, and then this whole from the verb to die.
Do you then pop the accent on?
This one you only need the accent on
The I, right?
this accent. Yeah, the I doesn't have one. It's just this U.
Okay. Because you did the same thing with the I
so
before.
This is just
When it's a mashup of a thing.
yeah, different ones. So there's a T here, and then the I. So because that's vowel and a consonant accent on here, it's only if there was a reason to have an I in the middle here that you.
Oh no, I meant the other. The
combining stuff.
I didn't mean the. I meant the other accent. Didn't you just like apostrophe or something?
Oh, you mean the dashes?
Yeah.
I just put the dashes in so that you can see the separate parts of that expression.
Oh no. Okay, go back to It's just, I mean, you know how you in French you accent the I
so
with.
Dan. Mm-hmm.
Because I could have sworn you said something similar to that because you wanted to like separate the. Yeah, I don't know.
Where the I was accented over here. How the thing is said. That's okay. So that's just how that particular expression works. Is e.
Yeah. Yep.
In the because we don't actually have the letter E in the language, which I should also point out at some point.
Okay.
But it's just these two U's coming together up here.
Yeah. Okay. And it's basic. It's
that's where.
with a U and.
But
And an I. was it?
Yeah,
But only if there's like two vocals together.
it's
That,
together.
or is it two of the same? Is it
Two of the same.
okay?
Yeah, but I need to point out that it's not always that. Sometimes it will just be there as part of the expression anyway. It is just part of the expression, and we're not going to do that right now. That's we'll get to that later.
Okay.
One for the moment. So you end up with now I'm pronouncing the R in this incorrectly. The R. So this is the word Mordor. It's the only time
Wait. Okay.
you have to roll your R's. Ever seen anything about Japanese? Just a quick chime in if you do.
I don't know Japanese, so not grammatically.
All right. So the R, so the R in back of the throat. So it's almost, yeah, it's hard to pronounce and to fail at pronouncing it. Yeah. So it's not that is, yeah. So Mordor is the about Mordor because it's Mordor. Because I don't know, maybe
And
Sauron was feeling like a fancy
The R's are like
bitch. Yeah, yeah, like.
like in the back of your throat, yeah.
Like a French R.
Oh, and I'm teaching Sarah. Yeah, exactly, a French R. That's correct.
Like a recti.
So, and yeah, and it's pronounced like loch in Scottish.
Yeah. Okay.
So, all right, we'll get to the fun stuff in a second. So, so here's a couple of fun expressions. This is piss off. That's grubo, the short O sound. And this is piss. It's not just piss, though. It's brackish, or what we used to refer to as water. That is the preposition off, as in to be off.
Still. Okay.
Like switch off.
Ah, so like sour kind of thing. Or the stagnant still, kind of like a sour in Danish.
Yeah, so yeah. It's the same word, it's used. Anyway, here is another expression that might be useful. It's imishu, prepare yourselves. So think of like say it to each other.
Well,
more people. Oh, it's Hayden. Hi, Hayden.
PH. How do you pronounce that in this situation?
Sorry,
Did
you say CH?
No. TH. G.
That's the pronunciation. Gach.
No. I can't. Can you say it again? It cut out just when you were saying it.
So, oh,
Evening all. Sorry I'm late.
no worries, Hayden. Good to
Hope you're all well.
have you. This is an E sound.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
Sarah,
You did.
I don't know if you missed it, but we're going to do pronunciation next week. Was the plan? Might work better when we've got.
Kind of sounds like we are working on pronunciation. That's why I'm asking.
I'm doing a little bit at a time. I think something we'll have to do interactively. So yeah, we'll all be involved in that.
Okay.
So this is going to be an important one specifically for us. So this word here is stargush. And that means ancestor. And this one, oof. Vashu. Oh boy, how do I explain this? So, for this. Actually, no, I don't have the other page. All right. So, Zash on its own is like. Same.
Yeah. Similar to
This U is, this makes this plural.
Okay.
So is usually on its own stargushu. Stargushu. But because we're adding this modifier, because I want to say die like your ancestors.
So it's kind of like a ancestor-like death.
True matat. Yeah, that's the expression generally. And the noun and the plural. So yeah, it's in years, but meh. Like if you said stargushu zash, with black speech, just say that, then it's fine. Like the rules are not there to like trip you. We're not trying to like Dothraki this shit here. So we're going to go to the next level of Stargush. Dan is a singular expression, and it means in the name of.
Okay.
Taking an oath or cursing, you can just add Zan as talking about.
Could you do the same thing as the other one and put the U in the end? Or is it only with certain things?
In this particular case, this one goes on the end, the plural, the verbs, if you've got any in there. This would go
It's full of stuff, so it might be.
before it. Then the adjective would go afterwards.
Yeah.
You had like honorable ancestors, you would, or courageous ancestors, that would go after this segment.
Yeah, I get that. It's just that
Yeah.
similar to in the first one, you kind of did the ancestor, a verb, and then a plural. But because you're using a collection of like an ancestor, you put the you first because it's separate. Is that how am I supposed to think it?
Technically, it doesn't technically matter as long as it's in there.
Okay.
And whoever you're... So don't sweat the details in this language at all. Like, this isn't like English where people will be like, why would you say ands? Like, ands doesn't make sense. Like,
yeah.
I'm kind of stuck on that point.
Or like, don't worry about that kind of crap. Yeah, go for it, Lexi.
It's like, because you spent all that explaining why you put the you where it is, but then this
Lexi.
one, it's the other way around, but doesn't matter. So would that mean it'd also be correct to say
Zan is an Zanu? Is that what
yeah. Yeah, it's
if that would be valid?
yeah.
Okay, so Zan isn't
A verb.
articulate word. It's like a small thing that goes in the middle. Zan, so it's always at the end of whatever you're talking about. So Zan, don't think or by or from or for or like is this expression here, Zash, is like these, and they function from what Zan is doing. Zan is this full expression down here.
Okay.
But that doesn't make any sense.
Whereas so always a suffix, so it's always attached to the word that you're talking about. Just an expression. So so here the plural is distinct from Zan completely. You remember the chain we had, if I get back, in Azatuluk. But it's this chain of pieces put together. All
would that change it
together.
to like
this whole sentence?
In the names of the ancestor instead of the other way around?
Because it's a single expression, it doesn't have a plural.
Okay.
For example, so here's what I can tell you. If you put a U, it wouldn't work for this one.
Why?
Here. Because if you put a plural here at the end of Zan, you would add an S to this section. So you would say in the names, in English that doesn't work, because if this is singular and that's plural, it'll be in the names of, actually, we wouldn't say it, we wouldn't express it that way in English.
In the names
but you could say
of ancestor, because it. All right, sorry. Let me just because Zan is like a collection, because it's an idea, and not the similar thing like Zax, which is just a bit proverb.
A little bit better.
It's like it's a participle, but don't
Take some Panadol.
What is all right?
get
So
in there.
just remind me again. Like, what type of word is that?
Or not.
It's pure blood now. And I'm like, I can't figure out.
This
Is it a proverb?
is not the part
I
of
should take you to the doctor.
no.
What is like?
It's
I'm
look it
serious.
up
I think we should take you to the 24-hour clinic.
because it's here.
Like, it doesn't
Drown
the earbud. It was like a spot.
No, way down.
That's
Possessive, imperatives, comparisons.
It's a preposition, is it?
Participle. I think that's what I'm looking for.
It's an
What I'm looking
adverb.
for.
No.
Adverbs. Back up here. No, it's not this one. Pronouns, companion imperative. It's a preposition. Sorry, preposition.
Okay, so you can go back and go. So if it's a preposition, you put the U in front because. Is that how it works?
So on the end of the noun you're modifying.
Oh, because it's something like, so ancestor like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I
and
think.
Zan is its own expression.
Yeah.
But if you add a U to it, you change it.
Yeah, I think.
To Yep. Okay. I'll move on then. So
Sorry.
the full sentence in the name of the ancestors. So, or some other fun expressions and random shit.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, you want to say bathe in their blood. Blood is grish, and bathe, which Lucy, but it also means rinse and wash.
Yeah.
And that is shaplag. So, bathe in their blood. So that's there, shortened from ulu, of course, because
there's a noun.
Whenever it's run anyway. Yeah, it's just because it usually butts up against another vowel.
Yeah.
Just ul for there. And then ishi just means in, or more technically, inside. And that goes at the end.
Thing is more rust than tank now.
So we have the verb to bathe, ul there, and ishi in or inside. Plug ulishi, which I'll write out fully.
How do you make it clear that it's us
Grish.
and not like
Okay, implied pronoun section of Black Speech. I think you missed out the part because you weren't here that early. The pronoun is implied.
Okay.
Unless you need to make it explicit. So,
yeah.
Grishaplag ul Ishi, bathe in their blood. You're separating them from, say, over there at the particular bunch of bastards you want to bathe in the blood of. And
well, that makes sense. But if it's like, okay, there's a difference between
if you want to say
their blood or we will bathe in that it's like for all. Do it just gesture, I guess. Yeah.
Okay, that's actually really easy, so I can do this quickly. Hide. Okay. How do I say I will bathe in their blood? So I'm going to write it out so everyone can see.
Yeah.
Yeah. There is two ways to do this, but I'll show you the most kind of correct end. Okay. So, Grish, and then all of this. There's going to be a lot.
How much have you got?
So, Shabu. That's technically we will bathe in their blood, but
Isku. You put Isku in
yeah.
the
Yeah. Shaplug. Oob. Ugh. Run out of room already. Ugh. God, why did I do it in the corner? Where's my lasso? Get over here. All right. Nope. That's wrong. Okay. Okay. So,
It's good.
bathe Shaplug in their blood Grish. So, is the singular I. You can modify that with a U. So, is u
Me.
become. Mm-hmm.
Ah.
Yeah.
Subtle.
So by pluralizing I, you get we.
Okay, that makes sense.
I'll just swap back to where we were.
What is
so,
the what is the UB? Wait, if you go back.
The UB is the tense of the verb. If this was in the present tense, which would make very little sense in English, but it would be at to bathe.
Okay. And future?
We're not up to future tense.
Cool.
Like tense. We'll go through the tenses maybe after we get through pronunciation.
Yeah, good. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Sorry.
That's all right. We're all learning as we go. So Grishzan Izub or Grishzan Izubu, in the name of my blood. So up here, down here. So where Izgu and Izg are I and A, are my and our. So
yeah.
That
makes sense.
Changes that kind of thing. We've got a full expression here down the bottom, which we might use at some point. So, Stargushuzan, in the name of the ants, Bub Izgu, we will swear. So we have we.
Yeah.
The future tense. And this is this whole word here. I know it's ridiculous. It's
who swear.
And it comes from Gash, speak. This is actually which is strong. So strong speech put together equals
that makes sense.
Swear. Well. So we will swear in the name of the ancestors. Izgu. And having those two B's there as an English speaker is an absolute nightmare. Hobble in the middle of our words very well. Bubble might be the exception. Alrighty, open for the night. Let's see. So a couple of extra sentence. I can't remember. Oh yeah, adjective. Okay, all right. Iterate the same note for the fourth time. In black speech, adjectives follow the noun they modify. So black shield or shield, more for black. So, which is frum, and you can pluralize that with just a U on the end. Stargush. And now we have a fucking nightmare of making a noun into an adjective. Suffix, urs. And I forgot that I was actually going to mention this tonight, but there you go. Means ancestral. So you've taken the noun ancestor, which you can do with any noun. Sometimes you'll find them next to their adjectives. Sometimes you won't. If you go looking through, that is, we have a particular expression that's important to us as a distinction from the ancestors themselves. So that's frumu stargushurs. And I'm fucking that up, but we'll get to the pronunciation together. That is the ancestral spirits. Sorry, go ahead, Sarah. I couldn't quite catch that.
No, because it's pronunciation. I was just curious. Oh, wait.
Oh, okay. No, that's all right. We'll get to the pronunciation interactive session, I think, where we do the pronunciation together. And I'll go through the letters. The last sort of thing is frumu stargushurs. So, as a last of the, go up here, hide that. We're just going to quickly, oops.
We don't do that here.
We're just going to go over what we've sort of mentioned so far today, and that's really just going to be it. So I'll go through a couple of the expressions. So kill them all. Applied just by the expression. What else have we gone over? Stargu Shuzan is probably important, so I'll put that up here. Stargu Shuzan. Of the ancestors.
Or
let's see, what else have we got? We've also got a let's see. Let's skip over some things just to save some time because we are running out of time. So we also have I'll do that, which is ach, no, which is I trilled that R, I should not have. Ignore that. Stop.
so nach.
Nach is hand.
So how do you say nach? No. So it's nach? No.
No.
Yep. It's like an Australian saying
Nah.
Oh, nah.
nah.
So it's silent.
Yep. It's just, yeah, it's just kind of like nah. Oops.
Like Narnia?
Who's that?
Kinda, yeah.
Do you say ST with or TS as a pronunciation of Z? So it's like puts that.
Yeah, we'll deal with that next time when we go over pronunciation. Then Frumu Gushurs and ancestral spirits. I can hear the chat. I'm coming in. You better not be naked. Yeah, I thought I was hearing Discord. It could be from any of the other channels. Never mind. Now we have none of them are significantly important right now. Bathe in their blood, I suppose, is okay. That's that. Oh God. Can never. Sharp log. Last. Anyone remind me? Oh, sharp. Oops.
Bloodbath? Or bathe in blood?
That's a good question. So bloodbath is a good one because that's a really good question. Fucking. So I'm just going to have to do it here because I don't have any room on any of the other pages. Blood question. So, what do you think it is in English? An adjective?
The noun.
Or a noun context? Mm-hmm. And is bath a verb? Or is it supposed to be
A noun.
Okay. So, if it's a noun, nouns, right?
Yeah.
This is what happens. You end up with this. Grish, shaplag, al.
Okay.
Al into a noun. So grish shaplag al will be bloodbath.
Okay.
How's that pronounced again? Sorry.
Grish.
All
Oh.
This one. Yep, that's correct.
Shaplagal.
Logo.
Fun fact. Gris means
So,
pig in Danish. Without this.
unfortunately, you have to pronounce both shushes. Unfortunately, there's no sort of combination where it mashes together into one.
But it kind of makes sense because you're fluctuating because you say gris, or right?
Shh.
Gris
Yeah.
with a
And
right?
because it's all one word, you just run it together like.
Hang on. How do you say it? Is it grish or grish?
It's gris,
Grish.
Grish.
right?
Grr. Grr. Grish.
Pronounced I.
Shush.
Gris.
Grish.
Grish.
You have to.
Like I said, we're going to have to like get into the whole pronunciation guide. I think like that'll. It's not overly complicated, but practicing it and getting your voice and your
Making sure you don't die with the many.
practicing a lot. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to choke on these.
But you don't. Do you have to like?
So you need to get your
properly
concert, like.
Because you can instead of like really throwing it out there and saying you can just go. So instead of you just go go. I don't know.
We lost.
It just throat. I think.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The language, if you remember, like from the Hobbit movie, I can't remember if it's an extended edition or not.
Yeah.
But there's one in the pub, and he pulls out a scrap of leather, and it's like a mess of squiggles, and it's like that. That's the bounty on your head. Closely and rotate the whole picture upside down. It actually looks like Futhark rune. It's just like of how like a rune would be written, or runish script would be written. a graffiti of language that's spoken. So black speech isn't really spoke. Everything is growled and spat.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to need some water for the pronunciation
Okay. Yeah.
guide
Yeah.
devices, because it's going to get messy.
Bring a towel.
Shapalagal might, yeah, exactly. It might be Shapalagal. That's kind of where your throat is going to be.
Yeah. So you constantly in the back of your throat. That's gonna kill you if you're not.
I like to think of it as the very poor examples of like when people try and over pronunciate German or one of those more guttural sort of languages. When, you know, a German person would say Schmetterling, but, you know, someone who's exaggerating or Schmetterling or something stupid like that.
Yeah.
You kind of actually want to lean really heavily into that when you're doing Orcish. Like it's not supposed to be precise. Oh yes,
like the black metal kind of.
You know, it's Frumustagush. You know, like you just mash it all together and just gutter it all out and just lean into that as hard as you can. And it actually, to me, as someone who likes, you know, listening to it all, it starts sounding more Orcish. Like if you try and pronounce it all very specifically, like Grish or something, you know, or like because you're not supposed to roll your R's that much. It's a bad habit of mine. You know, Rish.
I think. Yeah. I think we just have like slight accents, and I don't think that's gonna.
And that's fine.
Yeah.
And that's
what
fine.
happens if I wear a fancy hat and a monocle?
Yeah.
I mean,
we could go around and go like that's not how to pronounce.
be the grammar Orcish grammar police.
Yeah, and the goblet. It's gonna be great.
I was thinking more like posh orc, like no, it's pronounced.
Exactly.
As long as you've got as long as you got your pinky finger in the air when you're doing it, it's fine.
Cup of tea.
I came out of my mother with a pinky.
Last little. Whoops. Yeah. So I think we'll leave up as like the ending of this. And next week we'll go into like proper. We're going to need some lemonade or whiskey or something for.
That's a bad idea.
The back of my throat.
I think tea. I'm sorry, but
how about I'll meet you halfway and it's like that alcoholic kombucha.
Yeah.
Well, I can supply the ale, so that's all good.
So, are we gonna like meet up for this? Is that the idea?
We're not allowed to.
Yeah, until like COVID ends. See from like I guess life will get busier again on a Friday night.
Yeah.
But then we may look at moving this to a different night. People still want to continue with it.
Quest. Before Friday night games.
Yeah, like that's an option.
Just do it while you're fighting.
Like I said, all the material is up in the chat. Just want to say that correctly. Hang on, I'm sorry, I hit you. I said something. I need to check if I was grammatically correct.
Are all these
Just wait.
slides, all the pictures you're doing, are you putting those up separately, or is it just the videos?
I can in the chat. Just at the top of the chat is the dictionary that we're currently using.
Okay.
So if, like I will say the grammar stuff, like if you're a language nerd and you like to go to speed, I'm just trying to bridge the gap between people who want to learn languages and people who just like at games. So I'm kind of accommodating both. Yeah, feel free to go for the grammar lessons. It doesn't hold your hand, so
Well,
which
yeah.
is what will be basically next week off.
But if you do it alongside dictionary, I think that could help. Like with
it's just, yeah. I tend not to do it that way. It's just because I'm that deep, and you know, I know I've got a few people here with like who are on their third or fourth language. People who are on the first language, so
yeah,
trying to keep it for both, and that.
I
if you want,
really,
just
I should really like get on it with the third language.
we'll post all the slides up in
third
here, I
language, isn't
guess.
Yeah, well, I was
Is it?
trying to sort of learn French for a little while, but then kind of got out of it, and then.
Sorry, just to cut in a little tiny bit there. I'm just going to cease the recording now, just so everyone's aware of that.
Cool.
Unless you want to say one or two last things, Quinny.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do drugs.
Okay.
Unless
Ivermectin will set you free.
I don't care.
Alright, I will now stop.
It was to do with the.
Sorry.
Hang on, there was some dictionary, grammar, letters. Oh, yes. Now I remember.
pronunciation
Fuck. What?
helps.
No, absolutely not. So what I would like is and come up with some sort of expression that like you would like to see in Black speech. Feel free to go into the dictionary and the grammar, see if you can work one out. But if you have like a saying or a battle cry, try and create, like come back next week or tell me during the week, and we can get something that works functionally. And yeah, so project for the week is
Homework.
Ooh.
come up with a speech, yeah, and then like send it to me or let me know.
Cool.
And yeah, we'll figure it out.
And the next lesson will be on Friday.
Yeah.
Will it?
Yeah, we'll do. I think the consensus was 7 o'clock.
Okay.
To 8 o'clock. Next session will be a lot more loose because it'll be pronunciation, so we'll be sort of sitting here yelling at each other.
All right, 7 o'clock is good.
Yeah. We can do that.
Alrighty.
No problem.
Well, thanks for chiming in.
Thank
And
you
I'll
for
post all
doing